Welcome back. At the moment we are looking at a market that's recovering, and that's the positive sign. All indices are up at least 1% from the morning lows. In the case of Sensex, it's actually 1.5%. The Sensex at one point in time was down 6%, now down 4.7. So reasonable amount of recovery. We were 1:8 down as far as advanced declines. If you can get the advanced declines lines, even that may give you an idea of how the breadth of the market is slightly better. We were 8 down for one. Okay, the lines are not showing very clearly, but at one point in time, we were 8 in the red for 1 in the green. Now we are 5 in the red for 1 in the green. So there is a bit of recovery on those lines, and clearly pharma stocks are doing exceptionally, are the outlier stocks. So coming up for you, Glenmark Pharma. That stock is up about 8% at this juncture. So much of short covering. Aurobindo is in the green. That's up about 1%. Sun Pharma is hardly in the red. It's down just about 0.3 or so. So that's one set of stocks. And the other set of stocks that are somewhat okay are the FMCG stocks, Godrej Consumer, Dabur, all of them doing somewhat better than the rest. Actually, now TCS is joining the rank of the green. So stocks which will never have a cash problem are the other set of stocks that are doing reasonably well. But the marquee performer is Yes Bank. Two factors could be going in favor of Yes Bank. One, the amount of stock in circulation has fallen to 1/4, because for every shareholder above 100 shares, and I guess every shareholder will have more than 100 shares in Yes Bank, 75% cannot be traded. They are locked in for 3 years. Only 25% is traded. That's one reason why there could be a rally in the stock, because of low floating stock. The other reason is that in the settlement, when the F&O expiry, when the current contract is settled, you have to deliver if you are short. So people would be in a hurry to buy whatever is available to be able to deliver. So that could be another reason why there is a rally in the stock. But a third reason could be a lot of people are putting faith that with 8 banks behind, this bank will actually swim ashore. So here's two comments we have got from former Reserve Bank of India deputy governors. One of them was also a chairman of a commercial bank, Mr. Mundra, and H.R. Khan, former deputy governor of the Reserve Bank of India. Their take on this entire restructuring of Yes Bank.
In any scheme of this kind, which is being tested for the first time, there would always be open questions. There would be uncertainties and apprehensions. But I would say, putting all things together, I would be optimistic about it. Once the present structure is put in place, initial operational issues in next few days are sorted out, behavior of depositor is known.
Apart from recapitalizing the bank, the PSU banks and others, I'm told, are also placing substantial amount of CDs with them, so to ensure the liquidity. So I'm sure, while there are initial reactions from a section of customers who would prefer to withdraw, I do not think there would be any restriction on such action. But at the same time, I'm sure that at the bank itself would be reaching out to its, to its relationships and reinforcing its commitment to serving them. At the moment, the priority will not be on getting new businesses. If you look at the balance sheet of Yes Bank, their retail franchise is actually pretty good. It's only the corporate book which is showing some stress.
Okay, so that's a bunch of comments saying why Yes Bank could be a turnaround stock. And earlier today, we also had the Federal Bank MD saying that why there could even be rebranding. So the memories of the moratorium could also go away pretty quickly. We will have to wait and see all that. For the moment, let's concentrate on SBI Cards as well. SBI Cards, a marquee company, but an unfortunate day of listing. So a slight discount over there compared to an expectation of a premium. But actually the discount has come down rapidly. At one point in time, it was a 9% discount. Now it's hardly a discount. It's almost trading at the issue price, 748 as we speak on that stock. So hardly 6-7 rupees of the issue price. Dinesh Kumar Khara, Managing Director, Global Banking and Subsidiaries at State Bank of India, joins us now from the Bombay Stock Exchange, where you just saw the bell go. Good morning, Mr. Khara. Thank you very much for joining us. Well, unfortunate day of listing. Otherwise, the stock was expected to list at a premium. Your thoughts? Do you think it will quickly recover?
First of all, good morning, Lata, for giving me an opportunity to reach out to your viewers. Well, of course, this was one of the best of the IPOs of the current year and maybe for a couple of years in the past. Yes, of course, I agree with you that of course it witnessed a whole lot of turbulence during the time of the IPO also, but nevertheless it got oversubscribed to the extent of about 26 times of the book. But yes, of course, the kind of events which have happened in the recent past, the markets, of course, the kind of listing which we were expecting, we have not really have got the advantage of that kind of a listing. But I'm very confident, going forward, considering the business model which they are into and the kind of management expertise which they have and their capability of really trading the market in a very, very careful manner. I think these are some of the positives of the company, which I believe will be quite solid reasons for the investors to repose their confidence into the script. And I'm quite confident that going forward we would get to see much better levels in this script.
Okay, well, you certainly got a great price for whatever little equity dilution you did. SBI is richer at a very good price, I must say. And to be fair, Mr. Khara, as Anuj, my colleague, was explaining a few minutes back, everybody expected a listing closer to 1,000. The market has fallen 30% in the past 6 weeks. So, if you take that off, SBI's listing, along with the market's SBI Cards listing. But Mr. Khara, just a word more on SBI Cards itself. Don't you think the credit card business itself is going to find a growth problem for the next couple of quarters, given the economy's behavior?
I think I agree with you, because when there's a whole lot of uncertainty in the economy, there are reasons for concern. That is understandable. But I think the ability of the company to really ensure that the underwriting engine is quite flexible and their collection machinery is also flexible. I think that is something which goes to their credit to navigate such difficult situations. So I think maybe we might get to see some kind of a growth may get paused for a temporary period. But nevertheless, I think I'm quite confident that their ability to underwrite and also collection machinery which they have will actually help them in steering such situations also quite well.
Okay. Well, actually, that would be a general question as well. Mr. Khara, I'm sure SBI's top guns are watching the economy situation very carefully. And you are now 1/3 of the banking system. So what is your sense? Should we expect a minor wave at least of retail NPAs?
Ideally, because the kind of behavior we have seen as far as retail NPAs are concerned, of course, I don't expect that at the book level, at the bank's book level, will have such kind of experiences. But because considering the fact that the kind of people who are being offered such kind of unsecured loans or the retail loans, they are the one who have got long relationship with the bank. So I think the current situation, I don't really expect will really create situations where we'll get to see higher NPAs. As of now, till now, we have not seen. So I think going forward, I don't expect that we'll have such kind of situations.
Okay. Well, we hope so, because it now looks like a slightly extended lockdown. So consumption and therefore small business would be affected. I mean, taxi drivers, Uber drivers, whoever have borrowed from you, that level of bad loan is possible, you think?
I think when it comes to the kind of borrowing which they have done, and I think we have got a significant book of the salaried class. So I don't expect any kind of a stress on that particular book. And apart from that, one thing is very clear. People are quite conscious that any kind of a irrational behavior on their part will actually show up in their credit scores. So I think there's a conscious effort on the part of people also to maintain the financial discipline.
Okay. Well, actually now, since you head SBI's subsidiaries, in a way even Yes Bank will come under you. on a lighter vein, that is. But Mr. Khara, what is the plan with Yes Bank itself? Now, is there a further round of capitalizing that we should expect as a rights issue or something sometime soon?
We'll be taking stock of the situation, and whatever would be the felt need for that entity, we'll ensure that all that is taken care of.
Okay, and a more immediate issue, of course, the moratorium opens, I think, on Wednesday. Will there be an immediate plan to subscribe to the CDs of Yes Bank or something in case they need liquidity? What are the liquidity arrangements?
Yeah, I think we will be supportive of any of their initiative, because the intention is that we should help the entity to have a very successful run.
Okay.
So that is something which we will be looking at it very keenly.
Okay. Have you all thought through the capital that may be needed? I mean, this was just occurring to me. My sense is that RBI will give a line of credit to Yes Bank. At the same time, the supporting banks, 8 of you may be even helping with their CDs. But there has to be a capital, risk capital that you have to keep when you subscribe to the CD. There will be a rating issue. So do you think you have to keep higher capital, or will RBI waive the amount of capital you have to keep for your Yes Bank exposures?
We will be evaluating all these things once we have a comprehensive information available. Then we'll be taking appropriate decisions in the matter.
Okay. Any capital investors already lined up for the future? Foreign investors, domestic private investors? We heard that a lot of private and foreign investors were being approached by the erstwhile management. So, by when will all that be resorted to or sought?
Lata, we will, as I mentioned, that we have to have a very comprehensive view. Only then we'll be in a position to take some calls. But yes, of course, whatever be the requirement of the Yes Bank, we'll keep that in mind, and we'll try and see that how best they can be helped out.
Okay, one final question, sir. If this thought has come, will there be a rebranding? After all, now it's a brave new bank with a totally different set of shareholders. So even a rebranding, possible renaming?
I think such calls, which are essentially strategic in nature, will be taken only and only after we have a firm view on the bank, and then only will be in a position to. And in any case, this is going to be a call of the management, and all said and done, this is going to be a separate board and entity, so they will have to take a call. It is actually not in the remit of the investors to prevail upon their views in this matter.
Okay, Mr. Prashant Kumar has a huge job on his hands. Any thoughts, any word of advice? I believe he has run your Calcutta circle and actually turned it around.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Okay. All right. Mr. Khara, pleasure speaking with you. I know these are challenging times for SBI, and it has taken the mantle of leadership so bravely, whether it is Yes Bank or whether it's SBI Cards or whether it's the economy. Thank you very much for joining us, and all the very best to you. Well, just a word on the markets. We are seeing a decent amount of recovery actually in the mid-cap space as well. And now the advanced declines is clearly improving with only 4 stocks in the red for 1 in the green. So actually 50% of the stocks that were in the red appear to have moved into the green over the past 1 hour or so. So you would say that although it was a difficult start for the market, the last half hour has been kind. Let's see how things pan out. These are difficult days for markets. Chartbusters is coming up for you to take all the trading ideas forward.